You check out the ex-CIA. This is the guy, right? I think I saw this guy.
Do you think Jeffrey Epstein was a spy?
I believe very strongly he was a spy, yes.
And who do you think he was working for?
The Israelis. I'm confident it was the Israelis. Jeffrey Epstein is kind of the stereotypical example for what's called an access agent. If you're a foreign intelligence service and you want information, you're not going to recruit Bill Clinton or Bill Gates or Prince Andrew. So you do the next best thing. You recruit somebody who has regular access to them. And that person that you recruit is going to need to make these people feel comfortable. And so you give them plenty of money.
Why the most powerful man, the richest man in Ohio, gave so much of his wealth to the largest modern sex trafficking ring in American history.
A house on an island, you get them in compromising positions. Maybe you bring in young girls just in case you need to use what's called compromat. We know now that Jeffrey Epstein's house had hidden video cameras in literally every room, including the bathrooms.
I could believe that.
Why would he care? Unless it was to use that information against people. It would explain why he got a sweetheart deal in 2006. I mean, this is a guy that's been convicted of child sex crimes. And he gets 6 months of house arrest with an ankle bracelet?
This stunning, never-before-seen prosecution memo and draft indictment, prosecutors in Florida detailing the disturbing evidence they gathered against the financier, calling him a continued danger to the community. But that 60-count indictment never filed. Instead, Epstein landing the now infamous deal allowing him to plead guilty to lesser state prostitution charges.
That's
we have
crazy.
mandatory minimums in this country. That's a 5-year mandatory minimum first offense. Alex Acosta, who was the prosecuting attorney at the time, said he was ordered by the Attorney General to give Epstein the sweetheart deal.
On Justice Lead now, we've got some new details about the testimony from Alexander Acosta. That's the former U.S. attorney from Florida who negotiated Jeffrey Epstein's sweetheart plea deal back in 2007-2008. A deal that led to the now notorious pedophile serving only 13 months in prison. Barely at that, because he had work release.
Well, who's the only person that can order the Attorney General to do something?
The president?
It's the president.
Yeah.
So was it because Epstein was working on Clinton? He was a spy.
Oh.
I feel very confident in that assessment.
If I thought Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli Mossad agent, I said absolutely, positively yes. And then Dershowitz is like, I object to that. And constantly interrupting.
For context, Alan Dershowitz is Epstein's former lawyer that helped negotiate the infamous 2006 non-prosecution deal.
Could it be that Jeffrey Epstein just had a completely different life that he just did not tell you about? And it may also have included being a spy. I mean, clearly.
Telling me that he worked for the Mossad would have given him a get-out-of-jail-free card. I could have gotten him no jail time. If he had told me he worked for the Mossad, for the CIA, it would have been a slam dunk for me to go to whoever I had to go to, even up to the President of the United States, and I would have gotten him a deal with no time at all.
Hang on a second. You mean if he'd said he was working with the Mossad, then he would get off being a pedophile?
That's right.
Not suicidal, nope. Don't even think about it. He's black mold resistant.
Wow.
If I were a Mossad officer, I would have targeted him from my first day on the job because he had access to important people. You would have been fired then. You would have been absolutely fired. Not. Important people with important information.